Hey, how's it guys? Welcome to the channel. I would like to take this opportunity to extend my gratitude to all you guys who stopped by to watch my observations, leave comments and likes. I really appreciate it. I hope you will stop by again. Thank you so much. So last night was supposed to be the absolutely amazing rare blue full moon, but I missed it because it was cloudy. But I did get some awesome lightning, and I will show you guys in a future video. For this video, I was supposed to just wrap up the last couple of days of October's sunsets, but then I decided, because October is now finished and we are starting November, let me give you sort of like a montage from January to October of how the sun has moved across the sky. And I have to clarify here that I'm going to be talking as if the sun is moving across the sky, but in reality it's the earth rotating on its own axis. But because we are on the earth and we rotate with, we see it as if it's the sun that's moving. So I'm not going to clarify every time I say something about the movement of the sun. So guys, let me tell you quickly of how I realized how I can get my exact GPS coordinates on dateandtime.com. So as I told you in a previous video, I was using Pretoria as the closest city, but that wasn't good enough. So I contacted dateandtime.com and told them my dilemma and even gave them my coordinates. And while I was waiting for reply, I checked out more options on dateandtime.com. And then I realized that there's a search button, and when I go there, I put in the coordinates I know, and it gives me another option. And I choose that option, and then there's an option to open map. And I pressed on it, and it actually gives me my location on a map. And then there's a button that says select, and voila! You have your exact coordinates. Before I carry on with the dateandtime.com story, I want to talk about lens flares quickly, because I heard recently about a conspiracy theory that when people capture the sun, then they have a lens flare, and if there are clouds that go in front of the sun, then it makes the lens flare disappear. Then that means that the lens flare also went behind the cloud, and therefore there are two suns or something like that. And that's why I asked, how do you debunk nonsense? And the answer is with evidence, because there's my lens flare, the cloud's going in front of the sun, but the lens flare has no clouds near it. So that debunks that argument altogether, because a lens flare is just a camera artifact. And if you go look at my older videos, you will see that my lens flares there were yellow, and the lens flares of the Hisense are green and blue. So it's different cameras creating different artifacts. And that's it. So back to my dateandtime.com story. So after I figured out how to find my exact coordinates, I get a reply email from dateandtime.com, which I appreciate very much, but it wasn't helpful at all. The guy was full of apologies, and he said that the closest location he could find was Roodeplaat, which is still about 15 kilometers away. But it actually didn't matter, because I solved my dilemma all on my own. And armed with my coordinates, I was able to get more precise altitudes and directions for sunsets. And once I've got that information all together, I drew another diagram with the whole 23-degree tilt and plotted all the sunset directions for these videos that I've shown you, and I will put it on the screen what it looked like after I plot out all the angles. You know, back in the day when I didn't understand the finer details of sunsets, I just thought that the sun bounced back and forth between southwest and northwest. But now that I know the finer details, I can see that the scope of sunsets is so much narrower than I thought. And armed with these observations, I asked the flat earther, what is the mechanism that stops the sun at that point in the winter solstice and makes it work its way all the way back to southwest, and when we get to summer solstice it bounces back again? What mechanism makes the sun do that and not just carry on in that motion, right? And eventually sunrise and sunset should flip if the sun were indeed orbiting the earth. But in reality, that is not the case. It is the earth which is rotating on its own axis, and with that simultaneous motion, it is in an orbit around the sun. And that's why we see the sun bounce back and forth between these 2 points. I will make another comparative diagram after summer solstice to show the scope of sunset. So guys, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by. Please leave a comment, a like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and please guys, stay safe. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.